Good morning. Hello, welcome back. Today we've got a crown tooth number 19. We'll be making her a zirconia crown. This tooth came in broken and with a large amount of caries. So this is what that tooth looked like. And my first thought was this tooth probably needs a root canal. However, cone beam revealed the periapical bone was intact without any bone destruction around the roots. Vitality testing says percussion does not hurt, hot, cold. You can feel the cold, and then it goes away quickly, which tells us that that tooth is still alive. So the patient got to choose. We can do a root canal today, so that you definitely, take care of that chance of needing one in the future, or we could just let it ride and see how it does because it is vital and you don't technically have to have one. She said, you know what? Let's roll the dice. Let's see how it does. So we moved forward without a root canal. So we did something called indirect pulp cap. That is where we intentionally remove a majority of the decay, particularly around the margin, but we left some right over the pulpal floor. And then we put in this material Fuji 2 as a resin modified glass ionomer over top of that to act as our core buildup. And that is our best chance of her not needing a root canal in the future. She still may need one. And that's something that we discuss with the patient. It's part of informed consent. But today she did not get one. So she doesn't need it now. Tooth's still vital. We'll see how it does after we get our crown on it. But that indirect pulp cap with that resin modified glass ionomer, that should help further reduce the chances of that tooth becoming necrotic. So at this point, it's really just a straightforward crown design. We're drawing our margin, telling this computer exactly where the tooth stops and the crown will begin. No, this is flat because I just felt it in the mouth. There we go. All right, all of that looks good. Next is our insertion axis. So as usual, we're going to be parallel with the long axis of the neighboring teeth. Now, that tooth's leaned forward. I may have to adjust this contact some when I'm seating it, but we can do that in the chair. So we're going to be aware of that while we're designing our contact strength here. We don't want it to be too broad, otherwise we won't be able to get it seated very well. So cement spacer is 120 microns. We're going to be bonding. Don't need my positioning tab. We'll just jump straight into edit element to get our proposal. And here's our crown. Now, you'll notice we don't have anything opposing that crown, but in the future, we're going to do an implant right here. So that is going to give us a good bite or a good area to bite on this new restoration. So a little smooth tool, drop that occlusion some. Let's check to see where our old crown existed. So you can see where that new crown's going to give her this whole cusp back. So that will be nice for her to have. Much more pleasant to the tongue and much better to chew with in the future. All right, occlusion looks good. Contour looks good. Let's check our proximal contacts. Too tight. Good idea. I will probably need the handpiece and
The green bird.
green rubber wheel for the delivery.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just telling my assistant that I'm recognizing the contour on these neighboring teeth is kind of leaned into that space. And from my experience, oftentimes that means that I may need to adjust some of those contacts that we just created on this Sarah crown. So the same stuff that we use to polish the crown is the same stuff I use to adjust the contacts. When I finish adjusting, it's all really nice and smooth and polished and it looks great. So I don't really need to run an articulator here, but I'm going to do it anyway because it doesn't take super long. So we'll wait on that virtual articulator to think. Gives us our new tool, functionally generated path. We don't have any interferences, as we suspected we would not. So we are ready for production. Thanks for watching.